suddenly this love for Shuddh Hindi, which is fine. You want people to speak in Shuddh Hindi, you want people to go back to their roots, go back to their history, learn more of their culture. That's great. But that should not be the reason for hate. But I have also protested against how Anurag Kashyap and Vishal Bhardwaj portray Hindus as these evil, Hinduism as this evil religion, and other religions as victims. What is up, aliens? This is Rohit, Raina. You're watching my channel, and today we are going to have a little talk about somewhat of a controversial topic, a hot topic these days, because I was just in the live session last night. I was having this discussion like, why do we speak? Why is there so much Urdu in our Hindi films, in Bollywood films? Why not Shuddh Hindi? And there is a lot of narrative these days, about we gravitating away from our roots in religion, roots in our history, roots in our tradition. And I agree as well as not. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to be rooted in your culture, in your history. It's a beautiful thing if you know Shuddh Hindi and you can speak in Shuddh Hindi or in any language, if you belong to any other state. But it should also not be a reason for us to hate each other or to hate an institution. At the end of the day, language is only and only a means to communicate. Sure, like I said, it's rooted in our culture, in our traditions, but then it's supposed to make our collective lives easier. There are so many languages just in India alone. 2-3 months back, there was this huge debate that raged like Hindi is not our national language. Some BJP leaders said that people in South should also learn to speak in Hindi, or else they are not Indian. And everybody was up in arms against that politician. Everybody was up in arms against Ajay Devgan. Like why if I'm a Telugu or from Tamil, if I'm Malayalam and I do not know Hindi, I'm not well versed in Hindi, or I can only and only understand Hindi, I cannot speak Hindi, why should I learn Hindi? But of late I've seen that same people who came up with this logic, like my mother tongue is Telugu, for example, or Kannada. Why are you forcing me to speak in Hindi? When a North Indian and someone from Bangalore or Kerala, when we can speak in English, the language that both of us are comfortable with, why should you force me to speak in your language, Hindi, right? That was a debate, that's how it started. But then the same people are like, why do North Indians or why do Bollywood films not doesn't show characters speaking either Shuddh Hindi, or why are they speaking so much English? Why is there so much English in Bollywood films? Now you have to decide. You can't say both the things. You either do not like them speaking English, or you want them to speak in English, because that's the easiest form of communication between an average North Indian and an average South Indian. And like I said, let's go back to language is a means of communication. And how it's tied to religion. See, the thing is, this world has made most progress when we gravitated away from religion, from religions. There are thousands of religions in the world, but we have made most progress when we collectively started following one religion, that is humanism. Whenever somebody, or whenever some institution, or whenever a group has started to follow humanism, keeping every other religion aside, progress has been made. Now there are traditionalists who would scoff at this and like, why do you want to keep aside our other religions, our traditions, our cultures? You are bearing the fruits of this progress. You are watching YouTube, you're using your smartphones, you're using laptops, you're using the most expensive of TVs, mobile phones. You are part of that progress. You are making use of that progress. You cannot say that I hate the foundation of this progress but I love this progress. I'm a product of this progress. I'm a product of my environment, but I hate the foundation of this progress. That doesn't even make sense. That's hypocrisy of the worst kind. And I'm not going off topic here. It's all related to our attachment with our religions, with our languages, which which we were never even bothered about. We were never bothered about in the last 20 years. Especially in Bollywood, there is so much English being spoken by characters. Just a couple of months back, we were glorifying English. Like, why? We do not want to learn Hindi. If we are comfortable with English, we can speak English way more comfortably than Hindi. So that is what we are going to speak. And English is a means of communication. We are taught in English. The court rulings in India, they are in English. We speak to our colleagues in English or to our bosses in English. We go to job interviews. We speak in English over there. English is such a huge part of our lives, whether or not our mother tongue is Hindi or non-Hindi, especially for people who go to jobs or who have their business, because in India, English is so much tied to your career and everything. Now, to turn around and say Bollywood is very non-Indian, it's very international because it speaks so much English in its films, that's hypocrisy. You have to choose one thing. Should Hindi in Bollywood? Sure, but then how many people would understand? You think the only reason we do not speak Shuddh Hindi is because Bollywood never taught us Shuddh Hindi? That's insane to think. Why would Bollywood make its films in a language that a very small section of Indians speak, Shuddh Hindi? Now, what we speak is not Urdu. It's a mix of Hindi and Urdu. You can call it Urdu or whatever. Or we speak a mix of English, Hindi, Urdu, right? We never say Dhanyavad. We never say Shukriya. Dhanyavad is Hindi. Shukriya is Urdu. We always say thank you. How many people in India still say Dhanyavad? Very few. A very small percentage. Thank you is thank you, sorry. And there are many, not just these basic words. There are so many words. There are so many sentences that we are hardwired now to speak those in English. So suddenly this love for Shuddh Hindi, which is fine. You want people to speak in Shuddh Hindi, that is okay. You want people to go back to their roots, go back to their history, learn more of their culture, that's great. But that should not be the reason for hate. Humanism is what got us here. Believe in humanism before any other religion. And I know I am already labeled a liberal here, but let me tell you, like, straight up, I hate liberals. I hate what liberalism has come down to these days. There is no such thing as liberals in today's times. Nobody is a liberal. Everybody is an orthodox. People who call themselves liberals, they are the biggest orthodoxes of all. They have their own fixed notions of the world, and they are as bullying as any other people of any other political ideology. So you can call me liberal or you can call me anything. You can call me Bhakt. I have been called Bhakt by most people. Among all the people who have thrown these labels at me, but I don't mind. I actually am happy for the fact that I'm also called Bhakt and I'm also called a liberal, because I do not have a political ideology, and we should not have a political ideology. We should be open to everything. You should lead a kind of life that makes you happy, unless it is making someone else unhappy. Unless you are gaining these things at the expense of someone else. That's a different thing. I don't think films are doing that. I don't think film stars are doing that. Yes, there are films being made in Bollywood from last 7-8 years that show Hinduism in negative light. That's true. I understand the outrage. I myself a part of that outrage. I have protested online, but I have also protested against how Anurag Kashyap and Vishal Bhardwaj portray Hindus as these evil, Hinduism as this evil religion, and other religions as victims. I hate that. I hate how they portray Hinduism. But there has to be a limit to how much we outrage. because at the end of the day they are just in films. The problem is we cross limits, we start bullying people. You do not understand the effects of bullying. I mean, everybody was up in arms against Bollywood or for Sushant Singh, but everybody was talking about mental health aspect. Nobody cares for the mental health of these Bollywood stars who you are bullying like 24/7. I'm not saying this about all of you, but some of you who will watch this video eventually. So let's calm down. Language, religion, everything was made for our ease. Religion was made so that we could collaborate with people from across the world. 10,000 years ago, we could collaborate with people who have met for the first time. We should have had a reason. That is why religion was formed. That was the main function of religion 10,000, 8,000, 5,000 years ago. Let's not make religion a problem. It already is. It already is. But let's not make it worse in 2022. We should be going like this. We are going backwards. That's all I want to say. I know I'm going to lose a bunch of subscribers to this video. I've already lost a bunch of subscribers today after my live session, the kind of things I said in that session. But I would just like to hold my stand, and I hope you guys do not watch this video in anger. Don't get carried away by the likes of Pratik Borade or Dhruv Rathi or all these propagandists. Just calm down, think about what makes you happy, what makes others happy, and let's just do what makes you happy, not at the expense of anybody else. That's it. Start believing in happiness. That's it. Everything else will take care of itself. Bullying a rich guy does not make you happy. It makes them unhappy. It makes them unhappy. Money does not give you a superpower. When there are 1,000 people abusing you, it makes them unhappy, and it does not make any difference to your life. Like if you go and abuse Arjun Kapoor, what does it change in your life? Nothing. It only creates this bitter feeling in them. It does not help you in any which way, not in your career, not to you spiritually. You not like, oh, I'm feeling so good, my life has changed because I abused XY celebrity today. I mean, it's stupid what people are doing these days on Twitter or through any platform. That's it. I think I'm just dragging it off. Just calm down. That's what I'm saying. Just try to be happy. That's it. You don't have to spread happiness, but please don't spread bitterness around. That's it.